Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 15 brawlers to max out in this meta. So it's been a couple of months since I updated this, and of course, with a bunch of balance changes and hypercharges, the meta has shifted a lot. So make sure to subscribe if you're not already to keep up with all the meta info. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So to begin with, of course, the best brawler to max out absolutely right now is Juju. So I think she's quite clear above everyone in terms of the meta outside of Buzz Lightyear, of course, but again, the thing is about Juju, not everyone thinks she's toxic, which is weird because she basically, well, she's not like Prime, Larry, and Laurie, right? How strong they were on release, but they've got very similar qualities in the fact that she's a thrower that can do everything. She's just versatile in different ways, in being sneaky with the invisibility, in being able to counter tanks with the slowing star power, and with, of course, her super. And just overall, there's just so many good things about her. Just makes it so difficult to actually counter her fully. I think the only way to really counter her if you have multiple tanks on a team. And again, if you're playing a lot of ranked, not a lot of people really banner her out still. So yeah, really good brawl in this meta. Definitely max her out. Tribe and Samsung have teamed up again during this festive season for another episode of Mission Galaxy called Silent Nights. We've seen Ben and Corey attempted to spend 100 hours in complete isolation, and in return for every 10 hours, they unlocked an epic giveaway for you guys to win. Also, whilst in isolation, they have to complete many brawl quests, and also for every hour they complete, they also earn a donation to Gamers Outreach. And my favorite part has to be Wasim just completely losing his mind. That just goes to show the challenge has to be hard if it breaks Wasim. And I can't stress this enough, they're in complete social isolation, which sounds cool for us gamers. That might be a typical day for us, but 100 hours straight, that's enough to send anyone crazy. And for those every 10 hours, Tribe will be giving away those cool Samsung products on their socials. It includes the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, the Watch 7, the Tab S10 Ultra, the Z Flip 6, and the Z Fold 6 as well. So if you want to see how many epic Samsung giveaways they managed to earn, then make sure to check out the video link in the description below, and also check out the other link, which is to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, which can help level up your gaming experience. On the list, we have Sandy. So Sandy has definitely become meta again, thanks to big nerfs to Mo, Kenji, and other damage dealers. Sandy's just having a better time down the lane, and there's just so many good Sandy maps still in rotation. You're going to be able to cycle through super pretty easily. The hype charge is still one of the best inside of the game, and there's just more strategies with Sandy now. I'm starting to see Sandy a lot more on maps where previously he wasn't really being used in. For example, like Hard Rock Mine, Snake Prairie is one of the best picks. I think any bushing map, Double Swoosh, really good. Of course, you can only really play Sandy on like Brawl and Gem Grab for the most part, but Sandy definitely is back in the meta and one of the best brawlers right now. So for the most max out list, we have Melody. So Melody is thriving in this meta thanks to the hypercharge. It's a little bit of a weird one with Melody though, because she received a nerf before the hypercharge release, so it takes 5 hits to get super, which sometimes is a little bit annoying, but it's just completely broken her with her hypercharge. She's just so good. She still has her counters with damage dealers, but any open map, she's going to be really good against those snipers, really good in heist, still really good in Brawl. And the great thing about it as well, there's so much tech with her in terms of her hypercharge. You can actually get your notes once you've popped hypercharge, and they deal extra damage, so that's just a good tech. Of course, you've got the fact that it pairs really well with her star power fast beats, so she gets even faster, pairs really well with her interlude gadget. There's just so much to like about Melody in this meta. Definitely max her out. So next up on the most max out list, we have Angelo, and I feel like I'm always saying to max out Angelo because for whatever reason, the Brawl Stars dev team don't want to nerf Angelo, even though he's clearly one of the best brawlers in the game and has been for such a long time. It just takes me back to when Melody and Angelo were first released. They're just still one of the best brawlers inside of the game because they can do everything. Angelo is so good in knockout and bounty, so good in heist as well. So many water-based maps. Of course, Juju's a little bit better in terms of the water ability, but you know, Angelo's always been better than Eve, just able to put out 4K shots so quickly. It's just really crazy. It's the fact that as well, you can just hold down the auto aim every single time you release a shot, and you're just always ready to go. Your next 4K shot is always available. 2 toxic gadgets, really annoying star power as well. There's so much to like about Angelo. Just max him out. Some on the list, we have Penny. So Penny's just been getting stronger and stronger as well. The biggest counters to Penny are definitely the throwers, but still Penny's just good at everything. When you take a look at the game modes and maps, you can always have a use case for Penny. The additional range has allowed her to thrive a lot more. I'm always surprised when I'm hit by Penny Penny now because I'm so used to just outranging her easily. So she can just get consistent chip shot damage, but it's of course the hypercharge that's the biggest problem with her. Really good in hot zone right now. Just an annoying gem brawler as well, because you can play her as a mid, you can play her down the lane as well, and you're always feeding a Penny. So even if you kill her eventually with her gadget, that can be really good at defending her. She's just going to work her way to a hypercharged turret, which is so hard to take down since the HP turret buff a couple of months ago. So yeah, so much to like about Penny in this meta. Definitely max her out. Next up on the must max out list, we have Gray. So it feels like the first time in a very long time I've recommended to max out Gray, thanks to his hypercharge. So again, I think this is a sleeper one. People don't realize the power of this hypercharge. If you're able to watch the pros play with Gray, he can just do unthinkable things on the map, because you've got two teleports in one map, which is just crazy. You're able to make so many plays with tanks, you're able to make so many plays by yourself with the additional, of course, shield you get and the speed boost that you get. Of course, he's always been pretty good into like throwers and snipers a lot of the time because of his gadget, and of course all you need is just one gadget combination with his super to pull someone like a gene pool. There's just so much to love about Gray right now. He's definitely returning to the meta. Next up on the most max out list, we have Otis. So another brawler that's not normally on this list, but he's so good in the competitive meta right now. Otis is really good on those bushier maps because you've got help of your gadget Fat Splatter that can just allow you to push up the lane really easily, and then you've got of course the help of your vision gear, which is just paired so well with Otis. Of course, he's just able to scout the grass so easily. So maps like Double Swoosh, Last Stop, any Brawl map with a ton of grass, you're going to be able to get control really easily. And again, a good thing about Otis is even if you lose control of a lane, his range is going to help you out. And then, of course, up close, you've got the super to bail you out. So there's a lot to really like about Otis in the meta. And, of course, his hypercharge got fixed as well. So it stuns people. It's just crazy. It cycles really fast as well. Yeah, Otis is definitely back in the meta. So on the most max out list, we have Janet. So, again, Janet is returning to the meta. It feels like good old days with Otis and Janet being good. But the reason why she's so good is because of the hypercharge. The hypercharge is so good. People don't know how to play with it. They don't know how to avoid it either, because it's all just down to the person using the Janet hypercharge. You can get so much damage with it. You can cycle through supers so easy with it. I swear every single time I use it, I'm getting 3-4 hits with it. And then by the time I've landed, you know, they think they're going to take me down. And no, I've got another super and I'm easily able to get out of danger. The good thing about Janet as well, she's just okay against most lanes. I think most lanes in the game right now aren't too like in your face. So Janet can just be pretty good. She's got some good range. She's got a good gadget as well, but it's definitely the hypercharge that's pushed her up in the meta. It's just so good at confirming kills. So next up on the most max out list, we have Lou. So Lou has returned in the meta. Ever since his hypercharge rate got nerfed, he's kind of fell off and been like a DC tier brawler, only really good in hot zone, but now he's pretty good everywhere. So of course he's like the best brawler in hot zone again, thanks to the reload speed buff, but he's really good as a mid in gem Brawl and gem grab right now, because he can just counter those tanks so easily, and he's still okay against other brawlers because the reload speed really bails him out now. And then of course you've got a toxic gadget which can confirm kills really easily and get the freeze off. Hyperthermia is such an underrated star power and so good in a 1v1. Of course the hypercharge is really good as well, one of the best inside of the game, and you're even seeing Lou used in knockout to counter like cheesy compositions like Kit, Daryl, etc. There's just a lot going on with Lou. Really good in the meta. Just max him out. So next up on the most max out list, we have Max. So another brawler that's benefited from a really balanced meta, but Max has always been good and competitive, and I feel like there's never really a time when Max is bad in the meta. If Max ever gets bad, they just buff her because she's not really toxic, right? The only toxic thing about it is the hypercharge, and that's still not considered toxic by the devs because they haven't nerfed it for whatever reason. So I think Max will forever be meta. She's got 2 good star powers, a really good gadget that can help tank so many things, like, I don't know, big shot, Piper shot, any heavy damage, you can just tank that, make so many plays. Max as well, it all depends on whether you're a good player or not. If you're a good player, you can always do things on the map with Max. So next up on the most max out list, we have Gene. So I feel like Gene is always on this list as well, but you can always just go Gene, whether it's knockout and bounty. He's always a safe pair of hands because eventually you're going to get your super right. He only really struggles in the first engagements because he doesn't have that super, but still, if people are pushing into you, they're just going to feed your super, and eventually you're going to be able to pull them, and you don't even have to just use your super straight away. Just use it as presence, because again, you can easily get a free kill with it. He's really good because he can just stop the opponents from regenning. He doesn't deal a lot of damage, right? But if you're just constantly chipping and making sure you've got enough ammo to constantly stop them from regenning, eventually you're going to force them all the way back onto the map. And that's why Gene is just so good as a brawler and always will be good. I think there's never been a time where Gene hasn't been better. So next up on our most max out list, we have Berry. So another new brawler in the meta, basically because of the help of his hypercharge. He can cycle through to hypercharges so quickly, especially in hot zone right now. I just feel like he's so underrated. There's so many chances to go Berry right now because he can counter so many of the low DPS brawlers at the top of the meta, like Stu, for example. Gus, he's really good at just pairing with like Meg, RT, or any tanky brawler and just forcing your way up the map. Again, he's a support brawler. You don't want to go for kills. You don't want to shoot your shots high up the map. You want to heal your opponents with your gadget, your super, and then get your hype charge and just take over the map. It's all about supporting your teammates and pushing them up the map. Next up on the most max out list, we still have Frank. So it seems like whatever nerfs he gets, he's still one of the best brawlers inside of the game. And again, he's always pretty forgotten, but the power of Frank you should never underestimate. A lot of the big damage dealers in the meta like Mo, Clancy got nerfed. So if anything, he's even better right now with low DPS brawlers at the top like Stu and Gus. He's able to thrive in like Brawl, Gem Grab, Hot Zone, a late pick in Knockout, Bounty, etc. You can always go Frank. So next up on the most max out list, we have Stu. So again, the Stu hypercharge is definitely carrying him. It's nothing crazy. It's not going to enable you to get complete team wipes, but it's going to enable you to create so much pressure on the map. It's going to enable you to go from, I don't know, maybe getting spawn trapped to then spawn trapping the opponents, just allowing you to go in one shot to full HP with your Gassy Hill star power. And of course, you got the bug as well with the Santa Stu skin, which enables you to do 900 damage with your fire, which is again insane. So much to like about Stu. So versatile and definitely one of the best in the game. And the final brawler you must max out is Gus. So again, another brawler which is always at the top of the meta. He's not too toxic for the casuals, but in pro play he's played so much, and whenever he's undervalued or just not the greatest, he always receives a buff as well. So Supercell really like Gus, and especially him in the meta. The good thing about him as well, it takes 4 shots to get your super, so you've always got a super available. Your gadget can help confirm kills really easily, good DPS, and just good into everything. You can go Gus pretty much everywhere except for heist. So yeah, make sure to max him out. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below who you think I'm missing out on this list. But that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.